I'm the most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why did they not like you in Hollywood?
I don't wear dresses on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff.
That I don't know exactly why they're doing this, because it can't just be happening at this speed. And that's why I think about the progression of all of this too, because then you get people who are like Hollywood gets involved in it. And they're all everyone has to be. They always have to have a kid that's transgender, or I think even like J-Lo's daughter is like, you know, a pronoun person too. Everybody has some kind of pronoun thing going on. It's like, what? When did this even? What are we doing, and why?
I mean, it's just
the agenda is so weird.
To me, it's just Marxist. It's just one of those things where they try to take God out of everything. They don't. You know, it's like you're not allowed to mention the Bible in school, but you're allowed to, you know, talk about, you know, all of this gender ideology stuff.
It's like
I mean, it's just like what? I mean, there was this teacher that I think she got fired for, but she they didn't have a regular American flag, and I think they were saying the Pledge of Allegiance or something like that, she didn't have one, but she did have a LGBT flag, and she had the kids pledge allegiance to that.
Wow!
So she put that on TikTok, and I think a year later, the school board was like, okay, teachers got really, parents got upset with her for that, and she lost her job.
That's clear indoctrination right there. That's you. Yeah. That's you.
You know, we have a flag, and then she shows the and so there is this sort of weird thing,
bizarre agenda
that they're
on.
Just bizarrely, you know, it's like with the Don't Say Gay bill that Ron DeSantis has in it. It has nothing to. First of all, it's not called Don't Say Gay bill, and it has nothing. It doesn't even have the word gay in it.
No, people. That's just another way of getting spreading the lie of it all. They're just trying to involve everybody in this with Disney and the way Disney is being run and everything. I think we were watching a video with remember that video we watched with Debo? Debo talked about this is not his name. What's his real name?
I don't know his real name.
I have the video clip.
I only know him.
I think did I get rid of it? I might have gotten rid of it. Hold on. But he was talking. Yeah, I still have it. Here, hold on. Let me put it.
I'm the most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why did they not like you in Hollywood?
I don't wear dresses on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gutter. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. You know what I'm talking about.
You know, it's interesting because they are. I thought about this not so long ago. Like that, it just seems like the agenda is very weird because it's like they're just trying to get non-gay people in this, like what he's saying, into a dress. Because when you think about it, I think almost every black male actor in some way has been in a dress. They're not homosexual. You know what I mean? They're not cross-dressers. But for some reason, that agenda needs to be pushed.
Right.
It's just like this whole, you know, transgender and then the pronoun stuff. That agenda, for some reason, they want to push it. And it's very bizarre to me. That I don't know exactly why they're doing this. Because it can't just be happening at this speed.
I mean, it's just all this is connected. This is the reason why I stay away from like BLM and LGBT.
Yeah.
And
because now they've added.
Because the BLM ladies are 3 lesbians.
Yeah.
Candace did a documentary which shows that they were funneling a lot of money to the LGBT, you know, community. You know what I mean? And with sex workers and stuff.
I think it was $80 million.
Yeah.
$80 million went to the LGBTQ plus whatever community in some way. But $80 million of their funds went to that.
And then, you know, you look at like, the women's rights, this only helps them because if you can blur the lines of gender, then it only helps the feminist movement. You know what I mean? So to me, it's all one big group. They've given you separate flags, but the truth is it's all one big group that's sort of working as one. You know, because to me, when the LGBT first came out, it was just really gay and lesbian. But they realized that only less than 10% of people are gay in this country. So they added the bi.
Yeah.
And then they realized, if we add more letters to this, so we can add trans, queer, then we can get everybody, because that's their work. This is why Huey Newton added the gay community and the women's rights community to the Black Panther movement, because when we're just 13% of the population, it was a much bigger numbers when you start adding white Hollywood, and you start adding women, Gloria Steinem and that, or you start adding the gay, in the 70s, the gay movement was really starting to pick up speed. And so a lot of this has nothing to do with anything but trying to...
It's power in numbers.
Power in numbers.
That's all it is. You know, people really... not have. I think we even talked about that Black Panther situation where they, kind of went with they globbed on with the LGBT, and
I think you read his open letter.
Yeah, Huey Newton. Yeah, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's not true. He was a family man. He's not into the gay. He's not into the gay rights. He's not into feminism. I'm like, look, you guys got to read the open letter. He wrote an open letter.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jason Whitlock, Royce White reiterated that the other day on Jason Whitlock's show about Huey P. Newton. He wrote what he was, what they were doing. And the thing is, it's just like, all of these things end up getting connected together to sort of change the culture into something. This is why you have people like Raphael Warnock, a pastor at Martin Luther King's old church, running for office and saying, I am a women's rights thing, so I'm for a woman's right to choose, and I'm a pro-choice pastor. Like, how can you do that? And he's just abandoning the Bible just so he can win office and to gain power in these groups. You know what I mean? How can you?
It's like I think sometimes I feel like it's just the ultimate goal is to get you away from God. And
Karl Marx was about that. Karl Marx was very hostile to religion. He thought that religion was the reason why people would not stand up to the government. Because people had their religious beliefs in God. And the reason why people hold on to religious beliefs, which is right, you should, is because the government should not be your God. And what happens with communism is that the government does become your God. They make up that you have to say things. You get propaganda in your schools, in your entertainment, in your books. Everything becomes a groupthink. And so everyone ends up thinking and acting exactly the same. So if you don't have God in your life, then all of a sudden all you can do is think these presidents are going to be your God. And they're going to tell you.
And these celebrities and stuff, and you're going to fall short. It's making people into just shells of themselves in a way, because when I see people walk around, especially like teachers now, like we talk about teachers all the time, and a lot of teachers now, if you look at them, what happens to teachers just kind of looking like presentable? You know what I mean? Now we have blue hair, tattooed,
nose rings.
It's a very weird
LGBT rainbow stuff all around your neck. The other day, Hershey's celebrated Women's Month with a transgender person, and it's called Hershey, and they've got a transgender person on there and calling him a woman, and I'm like, you can find any actual women that, you know what I mean, but things like that, it's just, even like on the big stages, like what happened with the Grammys with the transgender girl and what's his name, Smith, who's the guy?
Oh, Sam Smith.
Where all of a sudden everybody's wearing red, and they're all doing devil stuff, like Lil Nas X did it, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and they're like getting surrounded in cages of red. I mean, even
Rihanna was wearing
red, but even what's her name? The country singer. What's her name? Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Which by again,
Shania's one.
When you even think about that song, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. You know what I mean? They've been doing this for a long time. Even when I used to say with the perfume CK1, it was a unisex perfume. It smelled mostly like a man. But my point in saying this is that they're the ones who bring in the devil with all of this. Every single time a gay person, even a gay pride, they're all walking around half naked, being extra sexual, and then they get mad when people say, well, actually, I don't want my kids to see this.
Right, and it's like, what's okay? Well, why is that wrong to say that when they're just doing a bunch of adult sexual behavior? Like, it's almost like to the point where it's not normal to call out that kids seeing that. It's like it's not normal now. When you call that out, it means that you're being you're offending now the gay community because you're saying, no, I don't want children to see that. Or me.
And they're always playing like allegiance to the Baphomet.
Yeah.
That thing with the goat head. It has like the woman breast, and
Yeah.
that's a transgender thing.
Yeah.
Like because he has like what, a woman breast, a man's abdomen, a goat face. And I think it's like doing the hand movements are like the yin and the yang sort of thing. So it's all like, if you really look at it from a large perspective and not just get deep into it, it all kind of connects.
It's taken away from God.
Like they're coming for religion. They're coming for it because you can't run a country with these mentalities because the Bible, even the Torah and even the Quran are all going to be against all of this because that's just not in their text. So they're going to have to make people stray away from an actual God, but they want people to be a God.
Yeah. You know, you're young, you're just trying to find yourself, right? And so that used to be it's called growing pains. That used to be called growing pains. You come out of that, you go through phases. You know, it happens with kids. They get into these dark phases sometimes, or just, you know, kids have phases. But now what it's become is that children don't have what they call growing pains anymore. Now they find a social group. So if a child is feeling like a tomboy, which we know,
which is kind of gone now.
A child's feeling like a tomboy, she is now being told she actually wants to be a boy and she should be a boy. She actually should be a boy. You know, where that didn't used to be. You know, and again, the percentage of somebody actually wanting to a transgender, you know, is so minute, that it's so rare that it shouldn't be this much across the map like this.
I mean, even when you look at Buck Angel and Blair White, they never do this.
Yeah,
like they're more on the conservative end, but what they see happening to kids, they're like, this is not something for children.
Drag queen story hour.
I mean, this is not for kids. Did you see that one video? There's this video of this. I think it's I can't remember I think it's in Canada maybe, but it's got like this, they call it mommies doing something. Anyway, they bring their kids to this drag queen show, and the drag queens are literally doing like a sexual striptease while these little kids are playing around. And this sort of thing went viral because, I mean, I think even Blair White said, I can't believe, like, who are these mothers that are bringing their children to this? Drag queen is very sexual. The actual entertainment of it. And I don't understand why drag queens are considered transgender. That's a performance. It's not a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's just a performance. But it's a sexual, and even Blair White says that it's behind the stage of it. Or actually the actual drag queen. Remember her? Yeah. And she says a lot of drugs going on and a lot of promiscuity and things going on is no place for children. You know what I mean? So I don't know where we went into this. And now Disney is like making everything LGBTQ. Everything. And if they're not doing that, they're taking all of, like, now Tinkerbell's black.
Yeah.
They're replacing all the white characters with black characters, making all the straight characters as gay characters.
Well, remember the what you call it? The Disney executive. She said my not so gay secret gay agenda.
Part of my life, but at the same time, like, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers. Like, I'd heard things like, oh, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little, like, sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of, like, Proud Family Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and, like, our leadership over there has been so welcoming to, like, my, like, not at all secret gay agenda. And so, like, I feel like I felt like it was, I mean, like, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess, like, something must have happened in the last, like they are turning it around. They're going.
So Ron DeSantis really blew their top off because
he's trying
to take away their tax exempt thing, or they have a certain tax.
Isn't that crazy? I heard about that too.
Because they're like a city within a city. Yeah, so they've had that privilege for years, and I think he took it away from them.
They're like the Vatican.
Yeah, they are.
Their own little world,
though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like this. It's very strange to me. Like even hearing Debo, him talk. It's not about slandering, really, gay people or LGBT community, right? It's not about that. There's something odd going on. So if we can, us, people saying stuff that we're saying are going to get labeled as, transphobic or homophobic, whatever it is. Okay, we all know that it's not it. It's just words they say to make people mad, right? Get people in an uproar. But if you really look at it, it's almost just like there's the agenda so big. It's like you can't escape it, and then you can't help but to wonder, why are they doing this? Because again, if we know that statistically they are a minute part of the world population, like it's a very small amount of people that are in this group of people. And for it to be like Kara was saying, 80% of the conversation for
and
young people.
Mark Lamont Hill is how everyone talks. Everybody that talks has media.
Yeah.
So your CNN, MSNBC, your Hollywood, your movies, your Disney shows, they all sound like him. Your colleges, your public schools, they all sound like this. So when people say, how could the Germans be like this to the Jews? Because if you throw this much propaganda at a group of people, they can really start to believe they're victims.
Right.
And everybody can want to latch on to victimhood because that's where the money is. That's the reason why people are using the racist thing as a way. They've like almost hijacked
The LGBT.
well, no, just the whole racism has been hijacked by these other groups.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they realize, oh, if you act like the black people
oppressed,
and you find your victim card, you can too.
You can too do it.
Make things change.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We're oppressed and attacked too. So how can we get things out of this?
Right. It's like a globalist new world order sort of weird thing that I think it's sad, and they don't care about people our age. They don't even care about people who are 35, 40, 35, 40. They care about these kids in school, these Zoomers, this next generation coming, because if you grow up with those things being penetrated in you when you're like 3. This is why they like drag queen story hour for like 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds. It's because if these kids grow up with this,
it'd be normal. It's
just normalized.
It's normalized. That's all it is.
Yeah, mommy, I can be a girl if I want today.
And see, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Is that it used to be called growing pains. Every kid, when I went through it, the ugly stage or whatever you want to call it, or not feeling good about yourself.
Kids went through a phase,
and now it's like because kids always want to be accepted by a group. Kids don't really like to stand alone, right? Everybody wants to be a part of something. So if you're feeling lost and confused, and if your kid's been lost and confused, you don't have any guidance in your home, you are like, oh my God, you're gonna fall victim to it, because the kids are gonna fall victim to it easy. Because you don't have guidance at home, you don't feel accepted, you're probably ostracized in school or something, and then you get online, and you find a group called, blank, blank, blank. Join our group. There's kids calling themselves cats now. I
mean, they're over here cutting off young girls' healthy breasts.
Yes.
And then there are a lot of people who are detransitioning.
Yes, and a lot of those stories are starting to increase too. The detransition.
I didn't realize this, and then taking puberty blockers and things like that can keep you from having kids, or men being able to impregnate a woman when you get out of this phase. And that's why it's just like, it's not good. This is for somebody who is an adult, who needs lots of therapy before you even give them any kind of hormone blocker or any kind, anything like that. When you're an adult, not to little kids who haven't even, who you can't say a child is gay. You can't even say a child's straight. Children aren't supposed to be thinking about sex when they're little.
Well, a lot of detransitioners are saying that they realize now that what they probably needed was just extensive counseling.
Yeah.
Because now they see that what I was going through something, but this was an extreme reaction to my problem. The solution to my problem wasn't to do this. It was actually, I should have just gotten more counseling. And then there's, again, a small percentage, a very rare percentage that transitions and is fine for the rest of their life. They wanted to do that. That's what they. But majority of what's happening right now, we're seeing a lot of confused young people. A lot of really confused young people that are just on board with all these different types of groups, because they're just being told that everything is validated. Everything you say and do is completely validated. No questions asked. Let's not do any critical thinking here. Let's not talk to the kids and see if there's something else going on. None of that is happening anymore. No. If a child is saying that I am a girl and that child is a boy, they are validated pretty much immediately. Because they are using celebrity, as they always do with everything, to then push it even more, to make it even more natural.
So you can make it cool.
Yeah, cool. That's my problem with this. That's my whole problem.
If you're an adult, the way you live your life I don't care what you are, straight, gay. I don't that's
care.
your business.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to be in your bedroom, in your life, or anything. No one needs to bother you when you walk down the street. Nope. You just need to be left alone. You know what I mean? But when you now, that's fine. But when you now start telling me that in case I participate in a life that isn't my life, then I'm the bigot.
Right.
Then what?
How's that work?
I have to affirm you all the time? That's not going to happen.
No.
But also, I think that kind of psychology also pins us against each other, so we're not looking at the real people we should be mad at.
Yeah. Society's very strange right now. But I see what they're doing. I think they're trying to do two things. They're trying to get away from God, and I think they're trying to desensitize children.
I think hand in hand, because if you can pull your kids against their parents, like if you have Christian parents or Muslim parents, you know what I mean? If you have
religious parents,
and this generation is opposed to their parents' generation, they're going to reject their parents, you know,
naturally
form,
they will,
and they're going to go with the government, the state. And the thing is that when you don't have something that's higher than man, then you start to accept things like this.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing else.
Yeah.
And people are flawed. They lie. It's like Thomas Sowell said, the people who make up all these rules don't have to take any responsibility if it falls on its face.
Nope.
They come up with these liberal crap in colleges, and that's fine to have an opinion. But then when your opinions then come into fruition, and then it ruins society, then they all fall back, and they don't have to take responsibility for any of that.
All right, you guys, let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We will love that. And that is it. We will see you guys next week.